أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. We give thanks to Almighty Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. We send our blessings upon the noble Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his household, his companions, and those who follow his footstep till the day of accountability. In the previous class, we discussed al-isti'la and al-istifal, followed by al-istifal, and as well we moved on to al-itbaq and al-infitah. Right, there is an essential aspect that we skipped. Of course, in the when we were explaining al-isti'la and al-istifal, of course the scholars do not give these aspects a name, but it's very, very essential. And that's why it's not among the 17s, but it's very essential to know them and you should know their difference. I'll just give you as part-time, you can just note it down with the word part-time, FV, and part-time and light layers. Sometimes they will be heavy, sometimes they are light. Of course, you know that the alphabet of al-isti'la, they are heavy. The alphabet of al-isti'la, they are heavy letters, which are khussa, ضغط, qidh, khussa, ضغط, qidh. They are heavy, and they require raising the tongue to the roof of the mouth during the emergence of those letters, during when they are being pronounced. And I said it yesterday that all the other alphabets falls under al-istifal, falls under al-istifal. But there is something that we are supposed to explain. We have these three letters. We have alif, and we have the lam in Allah. The lam, note this, the lam in Allah, not all lam, but the lam in lafzul jalala, lafzul jalala, lafzul jalala, and that's the name of Almighty. So the lam in the lafzul jalala has different rulings guiding it. As for the case of alif, sometimes it's heavy and sometimes it's light. Sometimes it's heavy, sometimes it is light. It's heavy when any of the alphabets of al-isti'la comes before it. It's heavy when any alphabet of al-isti'la comes before it. So we have we say, for example, وقال قال قال. Qaf is one of the alphabets of al-isti'la. وقال ربكم ادعوني وقال قال قال قال. Do you get that? That alif there is said to be heavy, and it requires you raising your tongue. قال قال قال. And heavy sometimes and it's light. It's light when it comes after light letters, like that of mala, 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 mala lubada, mala lubada, مال لبدا mala mala ma it does not require you pronouncing that alif mala does not require you raising your tongue. If you should pronounce it correctly, you should understand what I'm saying. And it's not mola, it's not mola, it's mala mala. يقول أهلكت مالا لبدا ما not more not more. So that's for alif. And let's comes to the lam in lafzul jalala. That's lam in Allah. uh when the letter before it has fatha, then it is heavy. When the letter before it has fatha, it's as simple as this. Not this, it's as simple. It's only when we get to raw that we need to, you know, give some it's somehow lengthy when it comes to raw. But the explanation in the lam in al-lafzul jalala in Allah, it's that whenever it's fatha precedes it, whenever fatha precedes it, then it is heavy. Do you get that? قل هو الله قل هو الله, that lam is heavy. قل هو الله أحد قل هو الله. No, that's lafzul jalala is preceded by wa that has fatha, and that's the first thing first thing you need to know about that. And when it's preceded with dhamma as well, nasrullah nasrullah. إذا جاء نصر الله نصر الله نصر الله. And this instance it is as well heavy. And when it comes after kesra, like that of ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا دين الله. It only comes from its articulation point. There is nothing heavy in that aspect. It's because whenever it comes with kesra comes before it, then it is said to be uh light. It's said to be light. And now when it comes to raw, we have we the rest. I have explained that where the and not shorri. Sharri, not shorri. Sharri and not shorri. So that's about that. Now we should move to the and other this common mistake as well. Uh, الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك. It's Malik Yawmiddin. Malik. There's nothing heavy here. It is not Maliki. It's not Maliki. No. It's not more. It's Maliki. Maliki Yawmiddin. Maliki Yawmiddin. Not Maliki. So note that as well. And now we should move to the next, which is Ra. As far as Ra is concerned, it has three different cases. Three different cases, and each case has its own division. Raw is heavy in with there are 8 ways. 8 ways where raw is said to be heavy. 8 instances where raw is said to be heavy. And I said it's subdivided into three. It's said to be heavy. There are three different in there are 8 different situations when it's said to be heavy. It's said to be light in 4 different situations, and it's correct to you to say it's heavy. You can pronounce it heavily or in a light manner for 2 instances. Now let's start with the heavy. Let's just explain, and that's an example. The first instance is that whenever you realize that ra as fatha, whenever the ra as fatha, then know it's an heavy ra. For example, ra as it's on the screen. Whenever the ra has fatha on it, then it's heavy. رأفة ورحمة ورهبانية ابتدعوها رأفة رأفة ورحمة. The second instance is when it has dhamma. رسلا رسلا رسلا. That's the second instance, and that's the example. The third instance is when ra has sukun and the letter before it has fatha. Note this. Ra has sukun. It has sukun on it, but the letter before it has fatha. فَصَلِّ لِرَبِّكَ وَانْحَرْ 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 how 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 and that's your mouth will be a kind of a circle, like it's going to be round. One how it's heavy. And the fourth instance is al-Quran, as it's in when the ra itself has sukun, and the dhamma as the letter that comes before it as dhamma. Well, it's so وَنُنَزِّلُ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ وَنُنَزِّلُ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ وَنُنَزِّلُ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ مَا هُوَ. So that's about that. And the fifth instance is when the ra has sukun, or the ra is going to be pronounced as if it has sukun. These things are 2 different instances, and you need to get it. The example given here is wal asr. Then the ra there has kasra, right? But no, we are stopping on it. That's what we are saying. Of course, if you are to continue, wal asri in, it's light. Wal asri it's even heavy. We get there. Bismillah. Then let me mix this up so that there won't be a mistake. So wal asr, let's just stop. It's heavy because you have ra there, and the ra is going to be given sukun because you are stopping on it. Any alphabet that you are stopping on while reciting the Quran will be treated as if it has sukun. So now we are treating this ra. So the reason why I have to explain this is so that somebody will not go and check the Quran and go and say, okay, the ra in Surat al-Asr has kasra. Yes, I think you've gotten the explanation and the reason behind that right now. So while asr, the sad has sukun and the alphabet before it has fatha. In this instance, it's regarded as an heavy ra. While asr, followed by the same as well for when it has dhamma, the letter before it has sukun, and itself it's regarded to have to be pronounced as if it has, as if it's, maybe it has the sukun on it, or it will be pronounced as if it has sukun. Just like innal insana lafi khus. Khus, 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 khus is when the ra as sukun. The seventh instance is when ra as sukun. The alphabet before it has kasra, but the alphabet after it is an heavy letter. The alphabet after it is an heavy letter. So, and that's the instance of mir sad. Note this, after it, the alphabet after it as fatha is an heavy letter. Sorry, and that's why H is used to denote that on the screen, as it's on the screen. The alphabet before it has kasra, itself it has sukun, and the alphabet after it has, and the alphabet after it is an heavy letter. Just as in mil sada, mil sada, mil sada. The fourth instance is when hamzatul wasl comes, then the ra after it. The eighth instance, sorry, it's when ra has sukun and it comes after hamzatul wasl. The ra itself has sukun and it comes after hamzatul wasl. Hamzatul wasl is that hamza that is the hamza that's not like this. This hamza is not, is hamzatul qat'i, hamzatul qat'i, but this is hamzatul wasl. This, it is not, it is just used to maybe for to join sukun in the let me use this one, let me explain this way. In the presence of sukun, in the presence of sukun, then it has no regard, it won't be pronounced. In the presence of it's in the presence when an alphabet, or when it's to be joined, maybe a word comes before it and it falls at the middle, it won't be pronounced. A word comes before it, it falls at the middle, it won't be pronounced. But when it starts, when you have to start a pronunciation from it, then that's when you will have to pronounce it, maybe with kasra, sometimes with dhamma as the social warrant, and most time what determines it is the alphabet after this, because that's all. Let's assume the alphabet after it is dhamma, then the alif before it should be preceded, should be pronounced with dhamma, except in some exceptional cases, and we know we are not going there right now. And so that's just brief about that. When hamzatul wasl, and hamzatul wasl is the one that does not have the sign of hamza on it or under it, and that's that. But when it comes for an alphabet, then the ra as sukun, then it's regarded to be an heavy ra. So I don't want this to be up to 20 minutes. I will stop here, and we will be taking it. We will continue our explanation on ra in the next class. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه الأخيار وسلم تسليما كثيرا. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.